Hi, this is Irene Fehr. I just got off a call with a couple, someone that I love working with, a couple that want to reignite their sexual passion and intimacy and desire. And there's something that I was coaching them around and telling them that I wanted to share with you that I thought was really important. And that is this path of transformation that couples go through as they tackle this question. When they come to my office, when they reach out to get help, to get support in terms of reviving, rekindling sexual intimacy, they're usually driven by frustration and sadness and fear. Frustration about this disconnect that they're experiencing, frustration not being able to have sex the way they want to, not feeling the desire the way they really want to. And also this fear, the alarm bells go off in their minds, realizing, wow, we may lose each other. Like there is, our relationship is on the rocks and we may lose each other, and what that means. And so that creates this big impetus to change. This becomes this call to action to reach out for help. And that's really important. It's this big push to do something about this. And so couples reach out and they commit to doing the work, and they want to create a sex life that's different, that's sustainable, that they want to have sex. And I often notice that clients have a hard time connecting to the future, but they know that they want to escape the past, that past is not something that they want to continue living in. And so they do the work, and they start doing the work. They start getting into a pattern of doing work to run away from that unwanted condition. And they get to a place, and we do a lot of work around breaking patterns, the patterns that get them stuck, the patterns that get them disconnected from each other, not talking, not being intimate with each other. So start breaking the patterns, and they start having sex, and they start to feel closer to each other. And then something happens in this place that I see over and over in so many couples. So they reach the comfortable spot. They reach that time where they feel good. That's like that the alarm bells have stopped ringing from that place where they escaped. And things start to feel comfortable and good. They start to have sex again. They feel closer. They're not fighting as much. And then they kind of want to just stay there and linger. This place feels comfortable. This place feels nice. And obviously it's so much better than it was before. And then they stop doing the work. They grow complacent here because comfortable is nice. Comfortable it's a comfortable place to be. And here is where a lot of couples, once they reach this place of comfort and this place of niceness, they stop doing the work, and they gradually slip back to where they used to be. And I notice that over and over in couples that get stuck in the nice place. And that's because the motivation that it takes to run away from something peters out eventually once you reach safety, once you reach shore. Let's say you're drowning and that place feels really scary, and that's obviously not where you want to be. That motivation peters out once you reach shore. And you're like, okay, this is good, this is comfortable. But the couples that come to me, they don't come to me because they want a less bad relationship. They don't come to me because they say, our relationship is on the rocks right now, and we want to make it a little bit less bad. We just wanted to make it okay. No, they tell me that they want to go to the extraordinary, that they want to create an extraordinary sex life, one that lights them up, that gets them going in the morning. And when they get to that comfortable place, they actually give up on that by staying in that place. And there's a shift that has to happen, a shift that has to actually take place in order to create the extraordinariness of the sex life that they're wanting to create. And that shift is taking a risk of leaving the comfortable behind to go to better, brighter, and the places that they deeply desire. And what that requires is three things. One is to be brutally, really honest about what it is that you desire. And that can be incredibly scary because desire is unpredictable and desire is not the way we expect it to be. Desire has that power, but that power is really scary. Desire has power to pull us, to motivate us, to wake us up, but it also can shift things around, unbalance things. So the shift is first rooted in the courage, the honesty that it takes to be really open about your desires, the real ones, the ones that are scary to say or even think or feel. But they're the ones that are going to catapult you to extraordinary sex. That honesty and vulnerability of saying your desire. And before even saying it, to really feel it, to really give yourself permission to say, this is what I want. The second thing is about creating practices that are going to evoke those feelings and make those desires possible. And what I mean by that is that in the beginning of the relationship, our sexual desire comes from a lot of the hormones. You know, especially if you're falling in love with someone, it comes from limerence. It's all these feel-good hormones that create that sexual desire, that wanting to jump your partner's bones, so to speak. But as the relationship deepens, those chemicals wane naturally. We cannot sustain that high for more than a couple of months, a year, a maximum. And in place of that, we have to create circumstances where we feel, where circumstances that create the feelings of desire towards each other. And we have to focus our time and energy on those practices. And the third piece is that we have to close the exits. We have to close all those places or all those routes that we can take to avoid really facing our desires, where we avoid intimacy with our partners, and not just nice, warm, and fuzzy intimacy, but the darker stuff, the stuff where we have to be honest with them. We have to close those exits so that we can go to the destination that we want, the extraordinary sex that we want. And this second phase of the journey is what sets you up to create an extraordinary sex life and an extraordinary life that's driven by your desire, life by desire, rather than life by playing it safe. Life built on alignment to who you are and your strengths and your passions and your desires for connection with your partner, rather than the things that keep it safe. Life that's truly extraordinary, rather than simply less bad than the bad times that you experience. And this is the journey that I take my clients through, supporting them to feel, to get to shore and stop drowning in their relationship. But then once they are in the safe space, once they're in the safe place, to then climb to the heights of the mountains that they want to climb, to create the extraordinary sex life and a sustainable sex life, because all of these facets, all of these elements set them up for success, to live a fulfilled life, a life based on desire, that force that we have within us, our life force, that tells us this is going to fulfill you, this is important, this is about your values, this is about who you are. And if you're curious to know more about how to access that, reach out. You can find me at irenefehr.com.